This morning I'm back out at a spot that I've been to before. I've done 2 videos here in the past searching for a forge that was lost on the riverbank. And so I found that forge and took 2 trips out here and a little looking across the river, but I found it. And so now I'm back trying to get a little more information on this spot. There's a little bit of controversy in whether or not this was a forge or a furnace and a forge, or just a forge. It's Bright Hope was the name of this place. It was Little Cahaba Ironworks was the name of it. And so early on this place was called a furnace, and but all that's left here is a forge. And so later historians have decided that this was not a full-blown ironworks, that this was just a forge. But other people have told me that there used to be a furnace here, and that the county commissioner removed that furnace and used it in bridge construction here locally. So what I'm doing here today is trying to find some evidence of a furnace. So I've found some slag on the riverbank, but now I kind of want to dig around in some of these piles that are left from where they bulldozed and just see what kind of stuff I can find in the outer land areas. I see here we've got some piles of debris that goes down along the side of this road. When they turned this into a preserve, they kind of improved this road down through here. And so some of the old soil and garbage that was here from years of people using this as a campsite and everything was kind of scooped up and pushed to the side. And so really what I'm here to do today is just kind of dig through that rubble and see what's left in it. So that's where I'm at now. I'm not here really looking for a collection of artifacts. I'm here looking for evidence. I'm trying to preserve this history and try to determine what this place was. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to start here and kind of work my way down these piles here. I don't expect really to find much in these piles, but I kind of want to do an overall survey of all the debris piles here. And so I'm going to start at the top of the hill and work my way down. So right off the bat, I didn't even need a metal detector. I walked over and I saw this metal sticking out of the ground. I metal detected a little, found springs from an old mattress. So this is truly a garbage pile here. I'm gonna have to that's the problem when you've got historic places that have been turned into dumps. Then you get newer garbage on top of the older artifacts. And so I've kind of got to sift through the trash to find the history. So it's gonna be a little more work than I'd hoped. I worked my way down that ridge and didn't really find much. Came down the road up there and worked my way down through the woods on the side of the road where the pile had been pushed. And I found some different odds and ends, trash, canned goods, stuff like that. But so now I'm down to the bottom by the river, and I'm right in where I think the furnace was. And this is really what I believe is all that's left of the furnace. Is some of this sandstone that it was made out of, the smaller stuff. And so I believe that is what was taken to use for supports for bridges. And there's a little bit more of it down by the river, a little bit of it here. And so the majority of the slag that I've found from the iron making process is down here by the river. And so I know I'm real close to that. The forge is across the river, and I really didn't find any slag across the river. It's probably under the soil. And then down here, the river has come along and kind of kept the leaves from building up. And so right down here, really, this is slag. This here is slag. So the signs of it are, from what I have found, is right here by the river. And so I'm gonna concentrate my looking and my searching for evidence to right here where the slag is. That kind of makes the most sense, is to start here. And so I've got this pile right over in the woods where I've done a little metal detecting on it, and it's picking up a lot of stuff. Now there's trash sitting on top that I see. There's a muffler and an old piece of pipe that looks like it could have been part of the muffler. So good chance that it's really just where they, like I said, they came in and pushed off the trash to kind of clean up. And instead of hauling it off, they just kind of pushed it over in the woods and made a hump. So this is the pile I'm going to work through here. This is the pile of trash closest to where I believe the furnace would have been. So I'm just going to kind of work through some of this. There's the muffler I found. It's just sitting right on top here. So metal detector's picking up my foot for some reason. So let me get busy here, see what I can't find here. So I'll show you here what I'm up against. Pretty much everywhere that I put the metal detector, it's going off. So I just really need to pick a spot and start digging and sifting through this stuff and see what I come across. I think it's all just piles of trash, but somewhere under there might be something really old that I want to find. So got to dig through the trash to get to the treasure. I worked this pile of trash for a little while. I'm kind of going to give up on it though. It's just really too much trash in it. You see here more bed mattress springs. I've worked my way around it and it's just trash, trash, trash. There's the muffler, some canned goods, some other heavy metal canned good type stuff. Right over here where my metal detector is, I did find a piece of melted steel. This is a raw product, so this is more what I'm looking for from the furnace. So it doesn't look like much, but to me this is a better sign than all this other trash combined, because this isn't trash, this was just droppings of them making steel. So this is more what I'm looking for. I would love to find a piece of pig iron or some blooms from a bloomery or something, but kind of stuck digging through 100 years of trash, maybe more. So I'm going to move around, get away from the trash pile a little bit and kind of get out in the little bit of the outskirt areas and see if I can find any real evidence. Just in this one little spot, in this one little bitty hole here, a paintbrush, can, aluminum can, some other bottle tops, just so much garbage. It's hard to find anything from the past. Came hopping down the hill and hopped across a rock over there that scared me. A baseball-sized rock came rolling down the hill. I was wondering what I had spooked. It's just one of these big grasshoppers. So I've worked my way up real close to where the dam was. Right over here are the what looks like steps carved into the rock, but that is where the logs would have sat. This was a log dam attached to cables that were anchored in the rocks. So this is where the dam was. So the forge is straight across the river there. And so I know they built a second stack that was 29 feet tall, and just going off what I've learned about these guys, these iron forges and furnaces, is that it's going to be close to the river as well, so that it can use the power of the river with a wheel. And the picture that I have of what I think is the furnace, you could tell that right behind the furnace it kind of went up like a hill. So right over here where the woods starts, kind of looks like it could be that place in the picture. All the rock is gone. Like I was saying, it's been taken to make bridges and bridge supports. So all I can really hope for is to find something metal that was lost laying around. So that's what I'm going to do now, is get back over there in that tree area and hope to find a tool or a leftover ingot of iron making. Really, once I get out of the trash pile, I'm not finding much of anything. There's some old glass scattered through the woods. This is a embossed Pepsi bottle from probably the 80s. Up in the woods a little ways, not much other trash up here. Somebody probably tossed this up here. But once you get away from the main camping areas, the trash goes down, and then you don't find much of anything. So I think I'm going to target looking for where the iron ore came from across the road, and possibly try to find where the tram line would have come out of here. It's a really pretty little fern gully here. Got a couple of different kinds. Some southern woods ferns, and I'm not sure what this other one is. I know a lot of my trees, but I don't know a lot of my ferns. I know these over here are southern woods ferns. I need to figure out what this kind is. I've got some in my yard that I transplanted, but I don't know the name of them. This is a really pretty little valley here. It's along the road, so there's some trash scattered here and there, but this would have been the flower. It came out at the top and had some really white, really pretty white flowers at the top. One thing I just noticed here, as it was looking like this was an old roadbed here, then I noticed the pipe underneath the old roadbed there, and so I can confirm that this is the old roadbed, and up above is the new roadbed. So I'm going to kind of work this old roadbed down and see if I can't find any more evidence of the older road. Been walking a pretty good ways up this trail into the woods and get teed into this trail, and so I'm still searching for a tram line. Found this drop just now. Looks like squirrels have been teething on it. Still cool though. I keep all the drops I've got. If I don't find anything else on a walk, then you know, that's still pretty cool. A little souvenir of today. I've walked that roadway I was on all the way back down to the bottom, and here's the highway in front of me, and the creek running right here. This creek has really dug into this soil here. You wouldn't want to try and cross it right here. It's too steep. But the road that I walked went right up through there in a real pretty valley. This is another pretty valley here, not overgrown, and grasses and ferns. You can see here, there's the old remnants of the road that I walked up through there. I followed this really old looking road up from the river, and it looked really promising, but I followed it all the way to the end, and really nothing but a couple of humps of dirt, and so walked about another 1.5 miles with nothing there to show for it. There's a couple of little spots along the way that look like maybe they strip mined something. Here's one of them here, dug in the side of this hill over here. They may have just been getting dirt for their road, but there's more of them down along the river that look like this. So you can see how it's dug out here. They may have been getting these rocks out of the hill. I didn't walk up this road. I don't have the energy. I need lunch. I'm hungry. But there's several spots back down along the road I've been on that do this same thing, and they dig into the mountain and take rocks and dirt out. So they may be just using it to improve the part of the road here that's left. If you look right over here, you can see a bunch of rocks on the edge of the road, so that may have been what they were doing, is just getting road rocks to make it where it didn't wash away, and they could improve the road, make it less slant or whatever. So I can imagine, I don't know how old this road is, but if horse and buggies went up through here, you would want it as flat as possible because you're already having to climb a hill. You don't want it leaning too. So they had to overcome these hills somehow. There's another dugout spot there. Here's another dugout spot here. You see it dug in the side of the hill there. Now I'm back down to the river. This is a little Cahaba, not far from Brown's Dam where I was at earlier. Here's another dugout spot here. More rocky, see, just like the last spot. I'm pretty sure they're just taking it and then making this where you don't slide off in the river. River's not very deep here. Pretty sure they had a crossing down here where the bridge is now. They probably had a ford there and would cross the river with no bridge there. All the trash here. There's your crock if you're missing one. Get these log jams and just all the trash gets stuck in it. There's baby girl crock. These plants here are real pretty, but they are an invasive species from China that was sold as landscaping, and it keeps washing out of people's yards and taking over the rivers. They're warning that this invasive species is going to take over the Cahaba lily and choke it out. So the only way to get rid of it is to dig it up and to take it away, because if you chop the bulb into pieces, it just regrows into multiples there. But they're spreading pretty fast. I liked them and thought they were pretty at first, but then I found out that they're choking the Cahaba lily and I don't like them anymore. Somebody lost their swimming pool here too. Don't read the graffiti, it's bad words. All right, I've made it back to my truck and I gotta go get lunch. So that's it for the Brown's Dam adventure today. I've gotten a lot of walking in, and that's always good, but haven't really solved the mystery of whether it was a furnace or a forge and where the tram line was. But I'm pretty sure I've decided there was no tram line and that there was a road in, and that they used horse and buggies in those days. So I think I've ruled out the tram line, but time to go eat. See y'all later. Meerkats out.